there's even a little Jar Jar Binks character who actually succeeded. He wasn't annoying.
He's got the big floppy ears as well. Hi, I'm Vernon and this is Kit, and we just watched Men in Black International. Kit, what did we just watch?
We watched the best MIB sequel so far. Almost as good as the original. You disagree?
I do in fact disagree. But let's tell the audience what this film actually is about. Tessa Thompson plays a Men in Black fanboy who discovered the Men in Black organization when she was a kid for some unknown reason. Because she manages to hunt them down, Emma Thompson decides not to wipe her memory but to recruit her.
We follow a rookie
probationary agent,
Tessa Thompson, from New York, who's sent to London on a mission where she teams up with Chris Hemsworth, who's working under the leadership of Liam Neeson, who's head of the London MIB.
And that, as far as stunt casting goes, tells you all there is to know about the setup. Chris Hemsworth is basically playing Thin Thor, but he's still completely incompetent, stupid and dull, but has flashes of unintended brilliance. And Liam Neeson, as far as stunt casting goes, is a terrible, terrible mentor.
He's realized how old he is finally, and he does not jump fences, he does not shoot any guns, he does not kill anybody.
Unlike Tommy Lee Jones from the original Men in Black, Liam Neeson is not an action man. Though you get to see him in an action scene or part of an action scene in the beginning of the movie if you had not arrived late. Under the terrible mentorship of Liam Neeson, who's the head of MIB in London, and the incompetence of Chris Hemsworth, an important alien ambassador is assassinated, and his MacGuffin-ish MacGuffin falls into the hands of the MIB, and creates some sort of mystery, right? Theoretically, it's not a MacGuffin because
you actually do know what the device does. Its function is used in the story.
Right, whereas traditional MacGuffins, as defined by Alfred Hitchcock, are just
black
boxes, things that are important to the main characters and the antagonists.
But the MacGuffin itself doesn't do anything.
Like in all Men in Black movies, this strange alien device is wanted by a faction of aliens. The Men in Black have to work out a mystery of some sort.
They need to find out what the device is while protecting it from the bad guy aliens.
Like all Men in Black movies, they have to knock a few alien heads.
And they've also got their own little character arcs or stories to work out, and I think that's what really does make this movie work. It's more of Chris Hemsworth's struggle to
be a worthy successor to the throne of Asgard,
to get out of this funk that he's been in.
I.e., it's Thor all over again.
Fat Thor, yeah.
Or Thin Thor in the first Thor movie, where he had another relationship with another father figure from yet another established British acting tradition.
And Tessa's...
The problem I have with Tessa is that she doesn't seem to have an arc. She's already established as the smartest person in the room when we meet her, and she's still the smartest in the room when the film ends.
No, it's more of her emotional journey of finally becoming an MIB, which they didn't really paid off very well, but there was a nice touch at the end where they did tie in with her childhood experience.
The experience that led her to discover the existence of the MIB,
motivate her to spending all of her childhood years and her early adulthood trying to track down the MIB in order to join them. That did work, even though the story didn't really pay it off as much as it could have.
I think the weakness or the lack of a satisfactory payoff is because Tessa Thompson's character is
A bit Mary Sue.
yeah, a very, very big Mary Sue. She is the smartest person in the room. She works out all the mysteries even before the audience can.
She's not overpoweringly powerful. She doesn't make mistakes. She just get into trouble.
Yeah, she's just overpoweringly intelligent to the point where, you know, she makes the entire Man in Black agency look kind of like jokes.
No, I didn't get that. Mary Sue is a female character who's like perfect. She's got no flaws. She's powerful. She does everything right. She doesn't make any mistakes.
Classic Mary Sue characters that you may have seen before include
Captain Marvel.
Rey from Star Wars,
Right.
as well as Samuel Tarly from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but
He's
it
an
doesn't apply to guys.
authorial stand-in, a wish fulfillment. But the male version is called Marty Sue, so technically Samuel Tarly is a Mary Sue of the male persuasion.
But then another thing about the Men in Black is, of course, the really quirky aliens and the weird little weapons and devices. And
It does pay off. I mean, you
They
get
deliver.
the same tradition of seeing weird aliens in every screen, I guess.
you do see like the old, some old aliens like the worm guys, but you also do see some
The talking
new,
dog in the headquarters, he's back again.
yeah, but they also some rather imaginative new aliens. So the pacing is fast. I'm a pacing guy. I was never bored.
The movie is a little shy of 2 hours, but it feels more like a 90-minute movie. That's how well paced it is. It's very, very efficient.
In terms of storytelling technique, it does follow the 3-act structure very cleanly. You can tell exactly when the first act ends. That's when the alien ambassador dies and hands over the device.
Right? To
And-
Tessa Thompson, of course, instead of Chris Hemsworth, because everyone knows, including the alien ambassador, that Chris Hemsworth's character is a far cry from the heroic character he's being portrayed.
Yeah, so there's a bit of mystery there. The
Yeah.
alien,
That sets up two very great mysteries for the audience or for the film.
the alien ambassador refuses to hand over the device over to Chris Hemsworth because he realizes that he's changed. So you're wondering what the change is. Is it just that he's a good-for-nothing agent now, or is there something more sinister lurking inside him?
And of course, the second mystery is, what is this weapon? Why do other aliens want to kill over this mystery box?
The end of the second act is kind of like the standard Hollywood fake ending. So you think that it's ended, but
Yeah.
it hasn't. There's actually another real showdown with the real bad guys.
Right. And basically, the final act is just the last, I think, 15 minutes of the film. In terms of modern Hollywood films, Men in Black International stands out very distinctly for having an actual second act.
I was more impressed by the long first act. The first act is about 45 minutes. So they actually spent a lot of the time building up the characters, building up their situation.
And building up to the mysteries.
For those who are not familiar, the 3-act structure is quite simple. The first act is introducing the characters as themselves, their existing situation. So the first act ends when a problem is presented to them, which is what they'll be dealing with for the rest of the movie. So the second act is normally the longest. That takes up the middle of the story, and that's when they work to try and resolve or solve the problem. And the third act is just the finale, where they either fail or succeed in solving the problem.
Right, and in a lot of modern action movies or tentpole movies these days, second act has been drastically shortened to the point where the third act is actually the longest part of the movie. Takes an hour long because it's full of CGI fights and all that. That's basically almost every other Marvel film. But that could have been also said for John Wick 3, which we just recently reviewed. But then John Wick 3 kind of worked, despite the very long third act.
Yeah, so one of the things that really made the first movie work was they did explore the issue of using the neuralizer. Like at the start of the first MIB, Tommy Lee Jones's partner decides to retire, and so Tommy Lee Jones is forced to like neuralize him. So his partner like forgot like the past few decades of his life, and that was one of the things that made the first MIB so special. You really think about the impact of such things, whereas it became more of a joke in the later movies.
It actually played for laughs,
which they also did here. There's even a little Jar Jar Binks character who actually succeeded. It wasn't annoying.
He's got the big floppy ears as well.
So well done, Columbia, with the sidekick character. I hope you make lots of money with the merchandising. You deserve it.
As a comedy, it worked for me because of the characters, not because of the lines necessarily. Some of the lines fell a little flat for me.
They didn't try to make Tessa a Will Smith replacement, which was good. They let her like forge her own path.
She's more of the straight man to Chris Hemsworth's character. I think that part of the comedy worked out. What didn't quite work for me is the internationalization of the Men in Black concept. What made the first film great was that the Men in Black is a uniquely American conspiracy theory. It's set in New York, the home of conspiracy nuts. There's a lot of in-jokes, a lot of parody about conspiracy theories.
Yeah. I didn't realize it. Yeah, that's also what's missing in this one.
When you transport the setting of New York and its particular culture to London, it kind of gets lost. That kind of anti-government, anti-civil service paranoia.
They didn't really make use of the London setting. They could have been set in almost any international city in the world.
And they could have gone with, let's say, parodying the James Bond concept. Do you think they did?
No.
I mean, aside from showcasing Liam Neeson as a single character director of a spy agency, even if you somehow were very forgiving and wanted to see a James Bond parody in the Men in Black franchise, it still doesn't kind of work at all.
The first one just felt very subversive, and they had a great character, the alien bug played by Vincent D'Onofrio. They did have the bad guys here, or like so-called bad guys here, were a bit
generic. They seem to have stepped out from some Marvel or DC superhero movie. It's that kind of alien threat. Whereas the original Men in Black and its subsequent sequels the villains were not really villains. They were more of antagonists who were placed in an antagonistic role because they were illegal immigrants of some kind and had some scheme or another.
The two bad guys were kind of scary, but they also remind me of like the dreadlocked brothers in Matrix 3. Yeah, so I think this is like the best of all the sequels. The second one was really boring. The pacing was just off.
I thought the third one was kind of okay. The one with Josh Brolin.
I remembered enjoying it, but I can't remember much except for the
it had the period details.
I just remember something about the NASA rockets and time travel. Yeah, so I think this is definitely worth your time. It does carry on the spirit of the first MIB, while not slavishly following it like in The Force Awakens.
I recommend this movie because it has a stunt casting of Chris Hemsworth and Liam Neeson, and it works. It really works.
Tell us what you think. Did you disagree or agree with this? Or did you agree with me and disagree with this guy here?
Or did you, heresy of heresies, agree with me and disagree with him? Let us know what you think. And we'll see you next week or the week after.
Bye.